You call me Ebony WannaBe because I chose another race, and ivory is all you can see. Ebony WannaBe is what you call me, but it can't define me, because I won't be classified by the outer layers of my being. It is most unfortunate that my skin is all you are seeing. What makes me different from you? It's the misconception of your perception of my reflection outwardly. It's your idealism that makes an African queen bow her head cowardly. I wasn't my own when my birthright was shaken from me. He owned my body when my virginity was taken at 3. I shit in a bucket, drank from a creek, tried to turn the other cheek. I bore my owner's children that I unwillingly conceived. My broken bones healed after the beatings I'd received. When he killed my daughter, I grieved. He was relieved. So don't judge me by what your eyes have perceived. What makes me different from you? I can tell you my story and still find some glory without the shame, while your satisfaction is in seeing my pain and adding more, all the same. For 30 plus years, I held my head down, and a frown was my crown. I hid in the bush as a breed of my own, solitary and alone, as an outcast from earth. I, being the only one of my race, was forced to hide my face because you called me a disgrace, but you've misunderstood. I also came up in the hood. What makes you different from me? You stare at the color of my skin, not knowing where I have been. You judge me by the clothes that I'm condemned to be in, from without rather than within. I used to scrub board in a river to wash all of your clothes. I served with raw knuckles of which only a black queen knows, but I arose. I weighed 90 pounds when I carried my owner's son, and my battle had only just begun. I almost died, but here I am. What makes you different from me? I hold my head high, and I no longer dare to cry because your ignorance is nigh. As I suppose that I've exposed what you propose to be the truth, and it's lie. I am an ivory ebony queen, rather than a wannabe. That's what makes you different from me. I am authentically free at last, from a horrific and horrid past. I come from a family where you're never forgiven of any mistake. I'm reminded of that as long as I'm living. That's what makes you different from me. I forgive and I let live without the threat of abandoning over a misunderstanding that may have caused strife, but shouldn't remove the life from your daughter who was taken to the slaughter by a brother who decides it all for their mother. That's what makes you different from me. You see, he wouldn't threaten to abandon you over what you decide to do, but that's what he's used to, because it's accepted that if I mess up, I'm neglected and rejected to the point that he takes her property so that she can't give it to me. He controls her. Making her choose won't console her. She gave birth to 2, not only to you, but in your perfection, you decide my neglection, because in your reflection, it's right. You've been taught from the start to judge and hold grudge, and it's not in her best interest, it's yours. A selfish brat that is spoiled, but you scare her. If she goes against your wishes, God forbid, you won't get over it, so she must choose which child to lose. That's what makes you different from me. You have taken her mind, and I have set her mind free, because she wouldn't have to choose what child she would lose. So I let go for her sake, so she won't have to debate what you negate for her. You go on and call me that ebony wannabe inside of ivory skin. But because of a mishap, I don't reject my kin. I didn't choose what family to be in. But regardless of what they do, unlike you, I still love. And so I'm already dead to you? That's nothing compared to what I've been through, because I'm not quite as perfect as you. The difference between me and you is that you are forgiven, because you have risen. Into the sky you are placed on a pedestal so high, you are God. You have her believing that she is her own boss, though you force her to suffer a loss, because she doesn't want to choose. She'd rather keep you and lose her daughter, rather than to have you take her to the slaughter. I won't make her choose between her son and her daughter. I'll let it go for her sake, because she shouldn't have to fight over what is right in fear of your reaction. Who are you thinking of? How are you showing her love? I'm dying of cancer, I fight it alone. But is that what she wanted? No, it's what you have flaunted. and convincingly taunted her into believing. I'm proud to be different from you. I'd rather be an Ivory Ebony wannabe than to have someone like you controlling me. So I'm blessed to be out of this mess of a family who sees me as less than human. I am of my own race, rather than a disgrace to your face. Because of the black race that I chose, proudly so, I am my own. So while she needs her king to shine at his throne, I am ever reminded that I am alone, a breed of my own. Maybe I am a damned wannabe, because you've taken my mother away from me. Is that what makes me different from you? I washed in the Niger Delta too, but persevered to make it through. I'm of no race. You're right. I'm different from all of you. I am Ivory Ebony, not a wannabe, but only God can judge me.